Here's everything you need to know about Gran Turismo Sophy. This is a revolutionary AI in Gran Turismo 7. It's going to be the absolute forefront of racing against single-player opponents in simulators in 2023. Now, the first thing you need to know is this is a limited time trial. Yes, they're going to remove this from the game at the end of March. If you want to race against Sophy, if you want to see what the fuss is about, you got to do it before the end of March before they remove it. Obviously, they're going to be asking for feedback, and hopefully they're going to reiterate it back in the game in a better form. Now, the other thing to bear in mind from the outset is this is a PS5 only feature. If you're on a PS4, you will not be able to race against Sophy. So you have to be on PS5. This might be because the simulations required to just run Sophy as such an advanced AI opponent, but it's a PS5 only feature. The other thing to bear in mind is this is a limited sort of scope event within Gran Turismo 7. You can't just now choose Sophy in any track in the game, in any event you want. There's going to be 4 tracks where you can run Sophy, and within those 4 tracks there's going to be 4 events going from beginner, intermediate, expert to the hardest 1v1. You can see on screen now Iga Fraga, one of the fastest drivers in the world in Gran Turismo 7, also a Super GT driver in real life, going head to head with the purple Sophy. This is the hardest Sophy you can race against in the same car that Iga Fraga is. The other settings, beginner, intermediate, expert, there'll be 5 car races. You'll be racing against a number of Sophy drivers. Again, the purple Sophy is going to be your hardest opponent in the same car as you. The other Sophy colours are going to be just as difficult to drive against, but they're going to be in slower cars. That's how they're doing difficulty. And what people are saying about Sophy, it is absolutely revolutionary in the way it races with you. It's like having the best possible human opponents who are never dirty but will always race you hard. That is what people are saying. And you can see here there's going to be emojis above the cars. You get some feel for what Sophy is doing when it's driving with you. Is it trying to be aggressive? Is it a little bit shocked by your driving? Is it happy with how it's going? I think it's going to be a really engrossing experience to kind of battle with these Sophy cars and see what they're feeling, see their emotions. We know AI is such a popular thing right now with ChatGPT, Stable Diffusion, DALL-E, the image generators. And this is Gran Turismo 7 also at the forefront here. It's going to be absolutely insane. I think the biggest issues for Gran Turismo 7 is going to be that this is going to shine such a poor light on the normal AI in Gran Turismo 7. I think it's going to be really hard to go back at the end of March to driving against the old AI. I think there's going to be a massive clamour to get Sophy added in permanently. The other thing is, I think it might set people's expectations almost too high when it comes to racing online. Because Sophy is going to give you room to race, Sophy is going to try and overtake you, it's going to race you hard, but it's not going to race you dirty. When you then go and race online against real people, well, sometimes real people are going to race you dirty. They are going to run you off the road. So people just might have a slightly warped expectation of what to expect online. But the thing is, now you have an option. Now you can race Sophy offline and you can get that same experience, that wheel-to-wheel feeling that there's nothing like it when you're going into a braking zone and it's just a battle of who's going to brake latest and still make the corner, whereas online can be absolute chaos. So absolutely huge here from Gran Turismo. Let me know in the comments, by the way, what you think about this, and make sure to subscribe because they're asking for our feedback. So in this channel, in our videos, in our comments, we're going to have some really good feedback for Polyphony to look at and see how they can add this. What other things should they add this to? Should they fill up online races with kind of Sophy AI bots? So you have a Sophy AI leader. Say if you're in a CDR online race, should they put like a Sophy at the front that you can all race after? Should they add it to the rest of Gran Turismo single player mode? I think absolutely they should. Should there be a specific sort of license test system now where you have to kind of beat Sophy? Can you just have some B-spec racing now where you can kind of train up your Sophy driver and sort of do some customization there? There's so many options with what they can do with Sophy. This is, by the way, the biggest update they've ever done to Gran Turismo 7 in my opinion. I know from all of you watching this channel, you absolutely love the Sophy AI. You just can't wait for this since they announced it. And it's finally here. We're going to be racing it. I want to hear your stories. I want to hear how you find it. I want to see if there's any glitches, any bugs. Is there any way that you can turn Sophy into Kimi Vellicini? All this kind of stuff we're going to find out. But this is the basics of Sophy AI, how it's going to work in Gran Turismo 7. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next video.